All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It's another fantastic Monday morning here at Health Plan Markets. Thank you all for being on the call live in person. And we are here to improve the lives of our community with affordable healthcare. So thank you for being a part of that mission. And thank you for being here live. Now, as we go through everything, just remember, guys, that we also have these calls recorded. So if you have to jump off to take a client call or you miss a Monday morning, we get it. Just make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. So go out to YouTube, type in Health Plan Markets, and you'll find us there. And you can subscribe. So anytime that we post a new meeting video like this, you'll be notified, and we make sure that you don't miss a beat here on the street. So as we normally start, I'm going to start off with the training for the week. As you know, we have to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. So here we go. All right. So this week we have quite a bit of training happening. So very excited about that. This morning you have United Healthcare covering the grassroots marketing. So you can jump on that at 10 o'clock today. They're also doing another session at 1:30. Humana's got their CSNP in Spanish and Espanol. So if you prefer to have the training in Spanish, that's at 2 o'clock today. Moving over to tomorrow, Tuesday, Welker's doing a mindset of success. This is a pretty cool one I've never seen before. That's hosted by Maria at Welker. So if you're in the Orlando area, they're going to do it at their West Colonial office, 6801 West Colonial Drive at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Aetna's also covering their DSNP University training. That's virtual for everyone at 12 o'clock tomorrow. At the same time tomorrow, you've got UHC doing Find and Engage Consumers. We're going to talk a little bit about that this morning on some successful tactics working with pharmacists. Wednesday, the 24th, our very own Al Clancy is hosting his virtual coffee and chat session. He'll be available from 9:30 to 10:30. Remember, he is your virtual coach. Anything that you might need. If you're lost, confused, in the weeds, not knowing what the next step is, he's your guy. So make sure that you connect with Al at some point, but he's always available at 9:30 on Wednesdays. Cigna's doing office hours at 11, and so is our contracting team. You can get a great bang for your buck there at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays. If you have any questions about contracting, or again, if you're stuck, not really sure what the next step is, 11 o'clock available on Wednesday with the contracting team. Also on Wednesday, we've got United Healthcare doing their high deductible Plan G supplement training at 2 o'clock on Wednesday. Also 2:30, Humana's doing their retention strategy training. This is a great thing. We're going to be talking about that in the next weeks to come, what you should be doing for retention. So it's great to see that they've got that going on Wednesday at 2:30. Wednesday at 3 o'clock, Devoted's doing Overcoming Objections. Awesome class. Let me tell you, you will never not need a skill called Overcoming Objections in anything in your life. So this is a really great one, 3 o'clock on Wednesdays. And then also on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, Humana new agent training. So if you're new to Humana or if you need a refresher, they're available on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Thursday, we've got our benefit advisor training and meeting session that we do every month. So if you're in the Central Florida area, this is a do not miss event. We will be hosted by our friends at InnovaCare over on the east side of Orlando, Lake Nona area, if you're familiar. So if you're in the Central Florida market, this is a really great training, 10 o'clock Thursday. Angie, thank you for posting that. If you want to RSVP, please call her in the chat, and we would love to see you there at 10 o'clock. For those outside of the Orlando market, Humana is doing a veteran training in Espanol. So that's available at 11 o'clock. 12 o'clock, Humana Service Beyond the Co-Payments, talking about service as part of what you do. That's on Thursday at 12. And then United Healthcare is also doing one at the same time for the SEPs, because that is the name of the game right now, SEPs. Also on Thursday, they're doing a devoted PHCA mixer. This is a provider group that is being hosted in the Kissimmee market. Looks like it's at the Big Toho Marina, which looks like a fun little thing to do. If you're working those markets or if you're familiar with PHCA, Or if you need new doctors to work with, this is a great little mixer just to meet and greet the doctors and the reps that are there at Thursday at 3 o'clock. Also, Thursdays at 3 o'clock, we're doing our HPM HQ intro. Again, I am going to cover a little bit about that today. This is our new all-in-one platform that you can use to do your business. And we're going to cover a little bit of that today, but deep dives on Thursdays at 3. Friday, what about shop? 9:30. Make sure you know how to use our quote and enroll tool. We've got Tom Ryan there to answer any questions that you might have or to give you a quick walkthrough to make sure you know what you're doing. Also on Friday, 11 o'clock, you've got Chronic Plans hosted by UHC, training there. And then also 12 o'clock, there's that Overcoming Objections at 12 o'clock on Friday. That's the training for the week. Remember, guys, we got to keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field. If you're in the Central Florida market, please don't miss our Thursday training, 10 o'clock. We want to make sure that you're there. We're going to have some great opportunities to share with everybody. That's the one that we want to make sure that we are there for if you can. Okay. All right, moving on. I promised you that we'd talk about HQ and the new features that are in our new platform. Let me go ahead and share my screen again with you. So HQ is our all-in-one portal. We have started rolling this out. If you are interested in obtaining access to HQ, this is going to have all the things that you need from contracting, learning, enrollment, CRM, marketing, commissions, and other resources. Today, I'm going to share with you a couple of new features. This past week, the team has baked in the scheduling app. So if you need time for the contracting team one-on-one, you can simply go in your HQ and select the time. It's been baked in there, which is really nice. So if you want to meet with the contracting team at 1:30 on Thursday, you just punch in your information and you're good to go as well. Under learning, our live training is loading much faster now. So thank you to the team on that. Although we're probably going to switch back the way that it looks and functions. So those are the features there. Another thing under learning I want to point out today is our webinars. We have on-demand webinars that cover the CRM systems, working with doctors, and the prescription drug information as well. So lots of webinars here. I want to make sure everyone's familiar on how to get in there and use these webinar features. It's under learning. So there it is. Also, we're going to be talking about some pharmacy feature here in just a minute, but we've been getting a lot of requests for the Medicaid help. Again, we are going to be revamping that program, but this will also live in here as well, probably under resources, so everyone will be able to access that as we move forward with that particular feature at HPM. Everything should start living in HQ to make it as easy as possible for you to do this business. Again, if you don't have access to that, just shoot us an email to support@askhpm.com, and we'll make sure to get you access so you have all these great things and features there as well. One thing that I'm going to talk about this morning is a strategy on how to earn more business and a lead source, which many of you may not even be tapping right now, and that is pharmacists. Okay, so I was talking to an agent last week about some ideas on how to approach pharmacists and how to work with pharmacists. And I think, Sergio was really good at it back in the day. I remember he had a lot of relationships with pharmacies. You're probably going to have more success with the mom and pop pharmacies versus the big box pharmacies. However, they're not lost on this strategy either. So essentially, as an agent, you're going to approach the pharmacist. You're going to go into a pharmacy and you're going to ask to talk to the pharmacist and or the business owner. Sometimes they're one and the same. And you're going to be talking to them about how you can help them make sure that they're getting paid on their prescriptions. Okay, we're not talking about the clients at this point. You're talking about how you can help this pharmacist be more profitable. Okay, how can they generate more revenue for their pharmacy? All right, you're going to have their ear. at this point. So you got to deliver. So how can you help a pharmacist capitalize or make more money in a revenue way with their pharmacy as you're out there doing what you do? Okay. One of the biggest problems pharmacists have is people not picking up their medications and not filling them. And one of the reasons why these people are not picking up their medications and not filling their medications is because they don't have the money to do so. Maybe they have to choose between groceries and their drugs. Maybe they have to choose between their doctor copays and picking up their meds. And there are people that are shocked at some of the copays when they first pick up their medications that they abandon them completely. Now, this obviously plays a role in the client's lives because if they're not taking their medications, this could have some health implications. But specifically approaching it from the angle of talking to the pharmacist and saying, if you have people that are abandoning their medications, you're not getting paid. Okay. Sometimes these copays are to the client, maybe, 30, 40, maybe $80, and they're abandoning them. But that's not all of the revenue. The pharmacist makes the lion's share of the revenue. Sometimes these medications are $800, $1,000. And so they could be making a couple $100 by a member picking up a medication. If the member doesn't pick up the medication, then the pharmacist does not get paid. If the member does not pick up the medication, the pharmacist does not get paid. They do not get revenue, they do not make profits, and this is where you come in. So if they identify an individual, and I'm going to talk Medicare here in a minute, if they identify an individual that's not picking up their medications because they've indicated, hey, this is way too expensive, I'm not going to pay for this, or I'm shocked by the copay, or I had no idea it was this expensive, or hey, I'm on a fixed income, I can't afford this. These are key indicators that you might be able to help this person apply for LIS or Medicaid. Okay. So you can help these people qualify for Medicaid or LIS, reducing the cost of their drugs by 95%, and the pharmacist gets a fill. Now, the pharmacy doesn't get a cut on this. They still make the full amount, whether that member has LIS or they don't. Okay. So you're helping clients apply for LIS, and you're helping the pharmacy fill these medications that are normally abandoned. So they're going to have a higher revenue and you're going to help them make more money. Okay. So in case you forgot, you can go into HQ, and I'm going to share my screen one more time. You're going to go down to HQ and you're going to go under resources. And under resources, we have a link straight out to benefitscheckup.org. Okay. And here is how you're going to help members apply for LIS and Medicaid. You can usually do that in one fell swoop. You can just apply them for LIS if that's the case, but this also has state pharmacy programs and other things that could help reduce the cost of the medications, such as manufacturer discounts and things like that. So this is an all-in-one solution that you should play around with, check it out, and run a couple examples. But you have a tool in your toolbox here to approach pharmacists and help clients that are not picking up their medications so you can help them make more money. Okay. You're opening up an SEP for these members and you can get them enrolled in a plan that will help them save on their medications. So it's a win-win-win. Wanted to share that strategy with you because I don't see a lot of agents using it, and it could make all the difference for you and your success. So there you go. All right. Now with that, we have a special guest on the call, my buddy Quan. Quan, are you on the call?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
There he is. How's it going, bud?
Excellent. Good to see you, Justin.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My friend Quan Green from Florida Blue is on the call, and he's going to give us the lowdown on what's going on his side of the world. And so take it away, my friend.
Excellent. I do appreciate you. Appreciate the invite. I want to thank everybody that's on the call for getting up on a Monday morning to to be about the Medicare business. So that's a good thing. With Florida Blue, I want to give everybody just a quick heads up. We did get the CMS rules, and of course we're still reviewing everything. And as right now, it's business as usual. So I want to start off the meeting, and I want to end my presentation by saying the same thing. We are here to support you. We are here to help you grow your business. Uh, right now, we can still do it, and so we want to continue to do it. All right. So if you have events in the community, um, we have great provider partners that we work with. The events absolutely work. If you have events, let us know. Let myself know or Heidi. Let us know. We will help support those events and whatever you need. But as far as Florida Blue goes for the rest of the year for SEP, of course we still have our core plans. Okay, we still have our core plans. That's the Premier HMO. That's that value, local value PPO. Those are the two flagships. And if you sell in Hillsborough and Polk County, we have the two new plans. Okay, we have the preferred HMO, and we also have the total DSNP. All right. Now, with the only thing with those two new plans, we got to understand that the network is limited. All right, it's a tight network, but the plans are extremely rich. For instance, the DSNP, you got $6,000 dental allowance. For the preferred plan, they get a $100 food card. So we do have extra benefits that's on those two plans. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that the network is limited in Hillsborough and Polk County. But yeah, besides that, we have the Premier HMO, we have the Value PPO. Those are our flagships, and it's pretty much all around the state. So I know we have a lot of folks that's on the call today. The hot spots in Florida right now, of course, is Polk County. That's a really good county right now because the network lines up great. Jacksonville is doing great. Orlando is really excelling. So we do have some really key spots in Florida. However, everybody on the call has a niche, and that's where the events come in. All right. So whatever your niche is, all right, let Florida Blue tag along and pay for these events. And once you start putting Florida Blue business on the books, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to the process, and you'll see how Florida Blue really takes care of the members. More, I want to make sure I say you can also sell med subs this year. Okay, I want to make sure everybody understand that for Florida Blue, you don't have to take a new certification, but you can sell med sub. All right, and I want to make sure everybody got that. It's a pretty competitive plan as what I've been hearing. So I want to make sure that everybody takes advantage of that. Also, if you make a sale for Florida Blue, the HRA is still available, the VBE. All right, I want to make sure everybody understand. I know the CMS rules has a different number come October 1, but for right now, the numbers are still the same. Okay, so if you use ConnectSure, it's $175 if you enroll someone and complete the HRA. If you use a Florida Blue Sales Connect, it's $150 if you hit call now. All right, you don't even have to ask any questions for the HRA if you use the Florida Blue system. All you have to do is hit call now. Tell the member, hey, Florida Blue is going to call you within 20 to 30 minutes. You walk out the house, you have $150 in your pocket. All right, so it's a really good extra benefit that we are able to offer for the remainder of this year. We do not have the gas card program going on right now. We're trying to get that back. It did end on 4/1. So if you had any sales, excuse me, for 4/1, please contact your broker manager for Florida Blue. Excuse me, and make sure that you get that mileage reimbursement. That was a $200 mileage reimbursement for every sale. Okay, excuse me. So I want to make sure that everybody gets that. One thing that's really been working, and I want to make sure I let everybody know this. One thing that's really been working with Florida Blue is we have an RV. Okay, and what we do is we bring the RV out. We partner up with one of our key provider partners, and we take the RV and our key provider partner and our great agents. We take those three aspects all around Florida. So we take it to churches, we take it to provider locations, we take any location where we have seniors where we can actually talk to people. We bring that setup, and I'm telling you right now, that's been the best event that we've been doing. I would rather do that and then do these big senior expos. I'm gonna tell you that right
Mhm.
now because you get some quality consent to contacts, and these folks are very interested in you. And because you got to remember, we're meeting that immediate need of giving fresh fruit and veggies, also putting them in partnership with a really good provider. And they love it. They absolutely love it. I had one on this Saturday, and the agent and the provider office walked away with a handful of consent to contacts, and they was just so grateful. So it's a really, really, really good event. I want to make sure that everybody understands that. And last but not least, please continue to support Florida Blue as much as you can. We are here to support you, but we need the support reciprocated sometimes. All right. So
Mhm.
with that being said, we appreciate every piece of business that you put with us. All right, we don't take it for granted because we know that when you sell Florida Blue, you're not just educating the member, but you're really going the extra mile, and that's how you got to sell Florida Blue. Florida Blue is not like every other Med Advantage plan. It's a little bit different. The systems are a little bit different, but they really, really do take care of the members. That is the goal of Florida Blue, is to take care of your member, and you do not have to worry about AOR being switched with Florida
Mhm.
Blue. Okay, I'm gonna tell you that right now. It will not happen. So if a person comes in on a PPO and somebody else moves them to an HMO within Florida Blue, you will still continue to be the AOR as long as that person is on Florida Blue. They can't write a letter to get them off or anything. As long as you the first person to write them up, you are AOR. So I love it. Yes, that is true. It's
Mhm.
true. I'm telling you, because it goes both ways, right? So if you find somebody out in the community that you're helping and you move them to another Florida Blue product, understand you will not be AOR if they already had a broker on file. However, as of now, you can still get credit for the HRA. So it's not like you're walking away with nothing. You can still get that either 175 via Connecture or $150 on our Florida Blue system. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Yes.
And guys, as you're thinking about them, if you want to pop them in the chat, I'll definitely address them as well. But so Quan, you've been doing this thing for a while now. You are a seasoned vet in this
Yes, sir.
business,
Yes, sir.
and although you look like you just started yesterday, you got that big
I'm trying to be like
experience.
you. I'm trying to be
Yeah,
like you.
right. So I mean, I think you kind of alluded to it, but these guys are out there hustling, right? And what would if you had to go back to selling, what would be the first thing that you'd be doing right now to generate leads?
Excellent. That's an excellent question. And Justin knows my background. I was on the FMO side. I worked with carriers previously, so been in the
Mhm.
business since '05. So I do have some knowledge. But to generate leads, I would say first, if I was the first get back into it, first thing I would do was start with my circle. I would make sure that all of my family and friends know what I do, right? And
Mhm.
then I would tell them to tell people what I do, right? That's the first thing I would do because you're going to get leads right away from that. Secondly, what you're doing now, train like crazy, right? These
Mhm.
calls that Justin does, this really helps train. Next, I would make sure I get with community organizations, right? Community organizations. And when I say that, I'm talking about, like what Justin said, pharmacists. I'm talking about senior centers. I'm talking about boys and girls clubs. Because why? Guess who's bringing these kids to the boys and girls clubs? The grandparents, right? So any community service, I'm out there. I want everybody to know who I am. And I will also make sure that I would hook up with some key providers, right? So I would have I would have at least 4 or 5 key providers in every county that knows my name. So if I'm going to make sure that I'm working 3 or 4 counties, I want to make sure that I got about 4 or 5 key providers in all those counties that know my
Mm-hmm.
name, and I'm really working in. So provider marketing comes back. It takes a while, right? Provider marketing, you're not going to get leads right away. It's going to take
Right.
about 6 months to a year before you
Mm-hmm.
start getting some leads. But when you do, you are their agent, and it works, right? But the big thing is you have to let everybody know what you do, right? You have to have Medicare on your sleeve at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go around, not letting people know what you do. You can't be a silent agent, right? You gotta
Mm-hmm.
have your hand up. Hey, I sell Medicare, and not sell, but I educate on Medicare, because
There you
that's
go.
really what we're doing, is educating on Medicare. And then after that, you can start doing different things. You can start doing, T65 seminars, and
Mm-hmm.
because those generate leads, but those leads are usually about 3 to 6 months out, right? But you
Right.
want to have leads coming in from different buckets. You can't just have one method and think that that's going to be the end all be all. You have to have at least 7 different methods of trying to get leads, and you have to work them every day. First thing in the morning until late in the afternoon, you have to continue to work, and then you got to work when other agents don't want to work, and that's the Saturday events, that's the evening
Mm-hmm.
events, right? That's the early morning events, right? So you got to get out and just do things that other agents do not want to do. Yep.
Man, I'm fired up now, Quan. That is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah. So I know you were talking about the RV, which by the way I think is phenomenal. I think you guys are the only ones that are doing this, and surprisingly I don't think anybody's caught on to this. But
Mhm.
specifically, what venues or what areas or places do you find work best to bring that RV with the produce?
Yep, that's a great question. So I have found that anywhere we go, it works. Um, um, I haven't been anywhere where it just didn't work, and it's crazy, because you want to, kind of find the best places, but it just works everywhere. We parked in front of doctors' offices, and
Wow.
people will come out. We've parked in front of churches and people will come out. We've parked in front of libraries and people will come out. Some agents have offices in a retail center, or a retail location. We will
Hmm.
park in a parking spot and do an event, and people will come out. So it's really just, anywhere you have, a group of people, specifically seniors, if you can have that, we can bring that RV absolutely anywhere. Churches are wonderful. Churches are absolutely wonderful. If you work with a provider's office, they will even sometimes help you distribute information. They'll help you, flyer and get the information out. Send an email to all their members. Hey, we're gonna have fresh fruit and veggies here. So community organizations will do the same thing, right? If you go to a senior residence, make a
Hmm.
relationship with them and say, hey, we're just going to educate and give out fresh fruit and veggies. That's all we want to do. They love that. And then, if
Awesome.
you go to a senior location, that's all seniors, right?
Yeah.
So it,
Yeah.
it just really works. And it's something about the fresh fruit and veggies, because we don't give a lot. Like we're not feeding them. We're just helping to meet that immediate need.
Hmm.
And having that fruit and veggies and having a provider there, it just makes them put the wall down, and you see them really start talking more to the agents, and they
Yeah.
really open up, and those are really good leads. It's the best event that we've been doing. I wish now we did this years ago, but we didn't have the provider aspect. But just adding that really helps take it to the next level.
That is so amazing. And it's a good feeling too. Some of these seniors, like I had mentioned earlier, are choosing groceries or over medications. And if you could at least help them stave that for, a week, 2 weeks with fresh groceries, I mean, that's just a feel good feeling. That's part of the reason why I stayed in this business, is because it's not just about the money. It's about really helping people. So I love that, man. We've got a few
Yes.
questions in the chat here, and kind of going back to the mechanics of Florida Blue.
Okay.
So here's a question. If the member was on ACA and I enrolled them in a Medicare plan, do
hmm
I become the agent of record?
Yes. So
Yes.
because it's not a like plan. So
Yep.
like plans in Florida Blues eyes is Medicare to Medicare, MAPD to MAPD,
Hmm.
MedSup to MedSup, or ACA to ACA. So if you're moving somebody from ACA to Medicare Advantage, you are AOR. If you're moving somebody from MedSup to Med Advantage, you are AOR. Right. So as
Got it.
long as it's not a like plan to like plan, you're good to go.
Cool. So you have to jump the fence in other words, right?
Yes.
They got to jump the fence
Yes.
to product.
There you go.
Okay.
Good
Cool,
analogy.
cool.
Yep.
All right. Lamont is asking, what if they leave Florida Blue and came back from a different carrier? Would I still be considered as the AOR? So assuming he's rewriting that person after they left Florida Blue.
Yep, and that happens quite often. So,
Okay.
because of our AOR policy being really strict, some agents have relatives that want them to actually be the AOR, but they want to stay on Florida Blue. So I've had some people, move them to another plan for 31 days and bring them right back, and now they're AOR. So,
Yeah.
it's ways around it, but it does happen. As long as they're off the plan for 31 days, you will become AOR.
There you go. There you go. So we got to find those people
Yeah.
and get them back on blue. Let's go.
There
All
you
right.
go. Yep.
Yeah, Mark is asking if the client we write for a different Florida Blue plan, we do not get a commission, but do earn an HRA commission. But if they did an HRA with prior agent, is that still true? I'm a little confused by the question, but it has to do with maybe writing the HRA if the person's already enrolled, maybe?
Yeah. So if they are, if they're already a Florida Blue member, and you are moving them to another plan,
Hmm.
and you complete the HRA, you get paid. So
Okay.
yeah. So every time you enroll, you have the opportunity to complete the HRA. So let's say if somebody enrolled in Florida Blue and OEP with
Hmm.
with a plan, and then sometime during SCP they want to move to a different plan, and then they have an SCP, well, you can move them and complete the HRA.
Got it.
The reason why I say that is so hey, at least I'm not just doing it for nothing. At least I get a little something. Now next year that may be different because if you read the
Hmm.
rulings, the HRAs are going down to what, $12.50, I think. So across
Yeah,
the board. So
it's 50 cent on year two for administration fee. So divided by
yeah,
12. Yep.
yep,
Or 50
yep.
fifty
So it's
dollars. Yeah, divided by 12. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, so it's not a lot at all. So yeah, but the HRA, I always tell everybody, hey, you're not going to be AOR, but at least, right,
Hmm.
you get
Yeah.
that HRA money. So you're doing it, and then I always tell them, okay, thank you for your sale, but you got any events? Let me support you on these events, and you can get the money back on the back end, right? So I'm willing to
Cool.
support, above and beyond.
Yeah, and I like Mark's point on this. He wants to do good by the client, so maybe it's best to keep him on Florida Blue, move him to a different plan. He does the HRA, makes a little bit of money, but I mean,
Right.
really, it's about servicing that member. And later down the road, maybe that member refers people to you, right? Or they come back and they, whatever happens. But it's about putting people on your books, whether you get paid for them or you don't. You want to
Yeah.
build trust in the community. So I love that strategy.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Justin, I'm gonna tell you right
mhm,
now, those are the folks that really will be your biggest cheerleader. When you do
mhm.
right by a customer and they know you're doing it and you're not really getting much from it,
Yep.
they will make sure that they hook you up. They'll give you referrals. They'll make sure they will be a loyal client for life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Bud says he's got some RVs events on the books, so that's good. And we got people wanting
Yes.
this in Georgia. Well, Florida Blue's not in Georgia yet, but maybe we'll come up with something soon. Uh,
I
uh,
can always give you the strategy, Justin, and we can
yeah,
take it that way.
there you go. And Mark's asking for a picture of the bus. I know we did an event with
Yes.
Heidi last month, and they were showing pictures of the bus. So, Mark, if you want to get with Heidi, she can definitely get you some pictures of the bus. It's gorgeous. I think it's like what, a 20-footer RV, not
It's
super big. Yeah.
yeah. It's a nice sized RV. And what's really good is that we're able to put the fruit under the shade, under the awning, and then we have two tents right next to it. So it's like a ready-made setup event ready to go. Once you set everything up, so it just looks really good. And Miguel and Neftali, they do a wonderful job of setting up the fruit and veggies to make it look like you're like in another world. You know what I'm saying? So they have
Yeah.
all the beautiful greenery and flowers. So they make it look real inviting. And I tell you, it just really breaks down the walls that people have up whenever you say you're giving away something for free. People like, okay, what's the catch?
Hmm.
And then when they find out, hey, it's really no catch. You're just getting free information. Oh, the walls go down and they really start talking.
No.
So great
Yeah.
event.
No, it's awesome. So those of you that are contracted with Florida Blue, and if you're not taking advantage of this, you are missing a massive opportunity to grow your book of business very quickly. And so this type of opportunity doesn't come often. And like Juan alluded to in the beginning of the call, we don't really know 100% how CMS is going to define what can be done out in the field and what can't. But because there's no exchange for money on this, I anticipate that these type of events will continue in the future. So very, very excited to partner with Florida Blue to bring this kind of activity to the community. And those of you that are not contracted with Florida Blue, what are you doing? Let's go. Let's get the contract going so we can get you out there and making some money. So please reach out to contracting at askhpm.com. If you want to get contracted with Florida Blue, we'll get that rolling for you. What's the RTS on a clean Florida Blue contract these days, Quan?
RTS, as far as the timing,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, so it doesn't take too long. So once you complete the initial contract,
Mm-hmm.
it really is just waiting on background to come back. So that can
Okay.
take between one or 2 weeks, and after
Okay.
that, you get your link to complete your training, and I mean same day your RTS. Once you complete
Oh,
the
cool.
Florida Blue training, and I've heard that we have one of the best trainings. It's not hard. It's an easy
Mm-hmm.
training. You watch the videos, no test. Once you
Mm-hmm.
complete that same day, your RTS.
Yep, I can back you up on that. I took it myself. It was pretty smooth getting trained and certified. So a few weeks to get RTS ready to sell with Florida Blue, and you're good to go. And you can get out there and host an event with the RV. So I do know that the agents that are using it, like you said, are doing really well. And this is a time of year that even though, oh, there it is. There's the picture of the Florida Blue. Look at that. That's gorgeous. It looks like I'm at a farmer's market. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that is
they really do a
awesome.
good job. Yep,
Very
yep,
cool. Very cool. Yeah, and you got the shade pulled down too, so you got a little bit of
mhm,
shade out there if you need it.
yep.
That's gorgeous. And they just come by, grab a bag, and grab what they need. Is that how that
Yep,
works?
they
Awesome.
usually come, they grab a bag and they get like one or two of each item. And Miguel usually puts about, 4 to 6 items out there.
Very
Different type
cool.
of items. And I'm telling you, they walk away with that bag and the smiles are just amazing. Just from the fresh fruit and veggies. So, and he always does different fruit and veggies. I mean, this one here, of course, you see oranges, potatoes, and lemons and bananas, sweet potatoes. He does corn, fresh corn ears. I mean, it's just an amazing thing, and he gets it from a produce market in Polk County, but there's produce markets in every county, and it's fresh, so they love it. They absolutely love it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I know Seneca's having trouble with her certifications. Just shoot us an email, Seneca, to contracting at askhpm.com, and we'll get you rolling. We're happy to help with that. And then we've got Brevard. Question in Brevard. Do you guys go out there? I'm pretty sure you do. You got Heidi
Yes.
running that territory, right?
Yep. No,
Yeah.
not Heidi.
Oh,
Manny Matos.
Manny. Okay.
Manny Matos. Yeah, Manny is running that, and that's a great question with Brevard because they actually have a plan called
Mhm.
FHCP out there in Brevard. So it's it's a Florida Blue. Um, 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 I want to say it's a Florida Blue company, but it's under the name FHCP. So we are out there in Brevard.
Yeah, so FHCP stands for Florida Healthcare Plans. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And it's a different brand. It's got like a seagull for a logo, if I remember
yep,
correctly. Okay,
yep.
cool.
So, yep.
So that's good because you'll run into that. I think we have some of those plans in Seminole County too. But if you're contracted with Florida Blue, you get that product also. So there's no additional certification needed. You get two plans for the price of one, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Um,
And I want to
Natal.
make sure I share this, if you
Oh
don't
yeah.
mind.
Oh, perfect,
Um,
perfect.
if everybody can see that.
Yep. Yeah, that's
All
funny
right.
because Natalie was just asking, is this limited to Central Florida? What about South Florida? Absolutely. You've got Miami-Dade there. It looks like Alexandra's down there that can support you. Or if you're in
Hmm.
South Florida, which is, it's funny because like the world thinks of Miami as a different country these days.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
So so
Yep.
Miami-Dade is Miami-Dade, and then South Florida is like Brevard, Palm Beach, all that. So you
Yes, yes.
so you've
So
got you've got hmm
we just actually hired a new broker manager, that's going to be taking over, some parts down in South, the South region.
hmm
But the names that you have on the screen now, you can definitely contact in each region, and we'll make sure we get you to the right person. But yeah, we are all over the state. Everybody is the subject matter expert for their area, right? So,
Mhm.
Fatna Theodore, he knows Palm Beach like the back of his hand, right?
Awesome. Yeah.
Stacy, same thing in, Sarasota, Manatee. So, and of course up in Jacksonville, which is our corporate, Ivan does an awesome job up there. So, but this is our list. Saleh Key,
Mhm.
he is our DSNP manager.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, he's our DSNP manager. So if you ever have, a time where you want to just really focus on DSNP, I can
Mhm.
always put you in touch with Saleh, and he can just do a deep dive into DSNP, not just Florida Blue, but DSNP, like everything DSNP. So, but
Okay.
he's really good at what he does.
Awesome. And the RV, just to make sure I understand, is that available in all of these regions? Do you guys have an RV in each region?
Yes. Yep. It's
Awesome.
available in every region. So what it is that, all the broker managers have a week a month. And
Okay.
it kind of rotates. We have right now we have three across the state,
Gotcha.
but it rotates, and, we're able to get that done. So yeah, so we, all across
Now,
the state it's available.
now we can pinch hit, just so you know, in case you can't get the RV, but you want to do an event. I don't know what the logistics are with the produce, but we have an RV and we have a van
Yep.
um, that our friend Chan is running too. So we might be able to support some additional events or in an off week where you can't get the RV. I mean, is that something we can do, Quan?
Absolutely, Justin. And
Cool.
I actually do a lot of events, um, that the RV cannot make, and I'll just make sure I bring some Florida Blue tents.
Okay.
And as long as I got advance time, I actually go get the produce myself.
Wow.
And yeah, and I set it up now. I'm trying to get to the level where it's nice and pretty, like Miguel and Neftali does. Because usually I just bring the boxes and put it on the table and like go to work. But I do some off events where I actually go get the produce. I go out there early in the
Cool.
morning, grab it, bring it, and it's the same effect. As long as we have a provider and the agent, it's the same effect. Yep.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, lean on us. We've got an RV, we've got a van in case one of our folks is like you can't get the Florida Blue RV, which is preferred, of course, because of the branding. But we have an RV that we can bring out there and make sure that it's set up. Our
Yep.
RV is a little bit large, so it might be somewhat cumbersome depending on the situation. But
Mhm.
we do also have a Sprinter van-ish kind of thing that we can bring out.
Yep.
That's a little bit
Yeah.
smaller than your RV too. So.
I think that'll
Uh,
work too.
Cool, cool. So everyone on the call, that's available to you if you're in the Florida market. Central Florida market specifically. South Florida might be a little bit difficult. We do want to grow down there and get an RV for those folks as well. But for now, we've got the one that will support. I would say Tampa, Orlando, Brevard County. We could probably make that work for you folks in that market, for our RV outside of the Florida Blue RV. So, well, cool, Quan. Thank you, my friend.
Excellent.
You have
Thank
been
you.
awesome. I am fired up, man. I'm going to go out there and
Yeah.
get a sale now,
Yes, yes, yes. I love Medicare. I love Medicare,
Yeah.
and I do believe that we have some really really good agents, um,
Yeah.
really really good agents, and that's the reason why we're able to do what we do, Justin. We're able to do what we do because we have agents that really are really good fiduciaries out there for these clients, and we're just able to support them. So whatever you need from Florida Blue, I want you to make sure you use us. And if you don't have any Florida Blue sales, but you have a contract, let's get that sale on the books. Let's get your name on the
Yeah.
books so we can start supporting you even more. Thank you for having me today,
Absolutely.
Justin.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Quan. Thank you for staying overtime. You earned it, man. Thank you very much. All right,
Appreciate
everybody.
y'all. All
Yeah,
right.
you got it. All right, everybody. Thank you all for being on the call. Again, we'll do this same time, same station next week on Mondays. Thank you all for being on the call this morning. Just remember that these are being recorded. They're hosted on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that so you get the latest updates. Again, thank you so much. We will see you on Monday. Have a great, productive week. Take care.